Lesson 100. Lay, laid, laid. Lay an egg. Lay the table. What's another word we can use instead of put?
Another word we can use instead of put is lay.
What are the three forms of lay?
The three forms of lay are lay, laid, laid.
What did I lay on the table at the beginning of the lesson?
You laid your books on the table at the beginning of the lesson.
About how many times a year do most birds lay their eggs?
Most birds lay their eggs about once a year.
Who lays the table in your house?
I lay the table in my house.
Single. Go through. Entire. Do you think it's possible for a person to go through his entire life without telling a single lie?
No, I don't think it's possible for a person to go through his entire life without telling a single lie.
Why not?
Because every now and again it may be necessary to tell a small lie.
About how wide is a single bed?
A single bed is about 3 feet or 90 centimetres wide.
When travelling, is it usually cheaper to buy 2 single tickets or a return ticket?
When travelling, it's usually cheaper to buy a return ticket.
Fought. What are the 3 forms of fight?
The 3 forms of fight are fight, fought, fought.
What countries has your country fought against in the past?
My country has fought against Germany, Spain and France in the past.
Verb plus object plus adjective. Give me an example of the construction make plus object plus adjective.
Work makes us tired.
Give me an example of the construction keep plus object plus adjective.
Exercise keeps you healthy.
Look after. Which would you rather look after for a week, a baby or a horse?
I'd rather look after a baby for a week than a horse.
Why?
Because I don't know anything about horses.
Behave, behaviour, watch over, interview. Why is it that children so often don't know how to behave themselves when there are no adults to watch over them?
I think the reason children so often don't know how to behave themselves when there are no adults to watch over them is that they don't know the difference between right and wrong.
What happens to children who behave badly?
Children who behave badly are sometimes sent to bed early by their parents.
Are people usually on their best behaviour during job interviews?
Yes, people are usually on their best behaviour during job interviews.
Break into. Inform. If you were walking home late at night and saw a man trying to break into a shop, would you inform the police?
Yes, if I were walking home late at night and saw a man trying to break into a shop, I'd inform the police.
Kind. Kindness. If you were carrying some heavy shopping bags and someone offered to carry one for you, what could you say?
If I were carrying some heavy shopping bags and someone offered to carry one for me, I could say, "Thank you, that's very kind of you."
If one behaves with kindness to another person, does that person usually return the kindness?
Yes, if one behaves with kindness to another person, that person usually returns the kindness.
Far. A long way. Too far. Distant. Give me first a negative and then a positive answer to the following questions. Is it far from here to the next town?
No, it isn't far from here to the next town. Yes, it's a long way from here to the next town.
Did you walk very far yesterday?
No, I didn't walk very far yesterday. Yes, I walked a long way yesterday.
Give me an example of the expression too far, please.
It's too far to walk to the station. Let's get a taxi.
When do we generally use the word distant instead of far?
We generally use the word distant instead of far as an adjective before a noun.
Give me an example, please.
I could see some sheep in a distant field.
Do you have any distant relations living in another country?
Yes, I have some distant relations living in another country.
If you could look into the far distant future, what would you like to see there for yourself and for the world generally?
If I could look into the far distant future, I'd like to see happiness for myself and for the world generally.
Throughout. Choice. If you had had the choice of being born in any period throughout history, which period would you have chosen?
If I'd had the choice of being born in any period throughout history, I'd have chosen after the Second World War.
Why?
Because the world became more comfortable to live in.
Have you ever gone throughout the entire winter without catching a single cold?
No, I've never gone throughout the entire winter without catching a single cold.
Do you believe that people are all more or less the same throughout the world, or do you believe there are real basic differences?
I believe that people are all more or less the same throughout the world.
Official. What do we mean by a government official?
By a government official, we mean someone who works for the government, usually with a certain amount of power.
What do we mean by the official language of a country?
By the official language of a country, we mean the language that is used by the government and in schools in countries where a number of different languages are spoken.
Priest. Would you like to be a priest?
No, I wouldn't like to be a priest.
Preach. What do we mean when we say that some people don't practice what they preach?
When we say that some people don't practice what they preach, we mean that they give advice to other people about what is right, but they don't follow this advice themselves.
Kingdom. United Kingdom. UK. Northern Ireland. Wales. Which countries does the United Kingdom include?
The United Kingdom includes England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales.
What is a kingdom?
A kingdom is a country which has a king or queen as its head.
Pretty. Are there any pretty flowers growing outside this building?
No, there aren't any pretty flowers growing outside this building.
If you only got 5 hours sleep tonight, would you feel pretty tired tomorrow morning?
Yes, if I only got 5 hours sleep tonight, I'd feel pretty tired tomorrow morning.
Idiom 1. Hang on equals wait. What does the idiom hang on mean?
The idiom hang on means wait.
Give me an example, please.
Hang on a minute. I think I have his address in my book somewhere.